Right, welcome back to the channel. As I did say a couple of episodes ago, I wanted to do a review of the tools I use. I get lots of people asking me, what tool is that? Where did you get it from? So I thought I'd just pull out some of the tools that I actually have, that you've seen me use in countless videos, and just go through my thoughts, prices, where you can get them from. I don't have a huge budget, so I don't buy at the moment expensive tools. I buy the tools that I need to fit the job with the budget that I have. I have had people say before, a lot of your tools are Sealy. I don't like Sealy. Understandable. Everybody's choice is their own. Everybody prefers certain brands. At the moment, Sealy is in my price bracket. It does the job I need it to do. I'm only using them occasionally, but it's a tool that I'll probably use later, and then as I progress I will then expand and hopefully go up to better ranges of tools when money provides. But at the moment I'm on a limited budget. I like a lot of people who work in the garages tinkering with their bikes, they buy what they can afford. Obviously you need some quality because you don't want it to snap, but as I say, a lot of the tools I'm using I don't use a great deal. We'll have a look at this in a second, but probably this one is a prime example. That is my chain braking set and riveting set. I don't do a great deal of chains, probably a couple a year, so the price it was, but say we'll cover that a bit later on. But then there are some tools where they are a little bit more expensive and they do the job when I need it to do it. We'll have a look at, I've got a few bits on the bench at the moment, I've got a few bits to the side. I have printed off some information as well. It helps me remember everything. We'll also have a look at the parts washer. Many people have asked about that. Where did that come from and what fluids do I use, etc. So I just thought I'd load the bench up with a couple of little bits at the moment. Obviously, because I work on, at the moment, working on Z1000s and Z650s, a lot of the older bikes, one thing I did invest in is JIS screwdrivers. This is the set I have. I've left it in its cardboard inner. I got rid of the outer because it fits in my toolbox nicely. But again, it does the job I need it to do. They're not the most expensive. They're probably not the cheapest, but they are a good quality tool. Again, all different sizes of JIS, even down to the small stumpy, but have actually been brilliant for obviously a lot of the screws on the older 70s bikes are JIS, and the normal screwdrivers obviously they just can't do it. The format's different at the end. But again, that was a 4-piece set. I'll put a link up on screen now as to where you can get them. Reasonably priced. Off the top, should have actually done my homework on this one. I wasn't expecting to actually pull this one out, but I think it was in the £20 mark, somewhere around there. But very, very useful. Right, one I've had a lot of questions about, and again, a lot of people have seen me use it quite often. Is the actual valve spring compressor. So that is actually the kit. Jaw sizes range from 16mm up to 30mm. So on a lot of the ones I use, I'm using the 30mm on one side and the 25mm on the other. But again, depending on what actual bike and what size of valves you're using. This was literally a cheap 10 to 12 pounds, I believe. This cost me off eBay. I don't use it a great deal. Obviously I used it for the Z650, I've used it for the Z1000. And I used it on the XS750 cylinder head that I play around with every so often. Again, fairly easy to actually put together. Just quickly wind that in. These just literally slot, it's a ball bearing fixing, just slot into place. And then the handle goes in. Literally just wind that into position to cut the underside of the valve, and then wind that in and compress. You've got enough room to actually get the collets out. Use a little magnet. But a very simple, effective tool. All over eBay. Probably not the best quality, but at the moment it does the job I need it to do, so it's another tool in the collection. Obviously if you're doing this more often, then obviously you go for a higher quality tool. Let's say at the moment I've used this probably 3 times. But all fits away very nicely. And easy to store. Right, the next one I use this one actually quite a lot. This is the brake piston removal kit. That is the full kit. Ranges again from 19mm up to 30mm. And literally works on a slide hammer variant. Again, let me quickly just put one together. So that's the biggest size they do, 30mm. Slides over. Lock that into position. Obviously that fits inside your piston. You clamp that through and it will expand it. And then literally it's the slide hammer action to actually pull that out. Obviously as you're going along you still need to slightly tighten just so it keeps a grip. I say it doesn't cause any damage. I've never had any problems getting caliper pistons out. As I say, this kit only goes up to 30mm. And as I say, easily comes apart. nicely in its little kit. For this kit it is a little bit more expensive. Prices range, I've had a look on the internet, because a 14-piece kit, prices range from £62 to £75 on these. But again, I use it quite a lot. I've done quite a lot of calipers with this, and I'll use it again more in the future. I've got more calipers to do. Right, probably one of the latest requirements was this little tool. Again, another one off eBay. I think it's about £10. Actual cylinder stud removal tool. I used this recently for the first time ever. Never used one before. I run a quick clip of using it, but it did the job effectively and helped me remove all the cylinder studs that I needed from the cylinder head. But as I say, available on eBay. That is the tool, fits in with a ratchet, locks in at the bottom wherever you stud, whichever size stud you need. But as I say, I'll run a quick clip and then you can have a look of it in use. Using the small hole. I want to go in an anti-clockwise till that grips. And there we go, it's starting to turn. Right, for the next one, this is actually the chain breaker and riveter set. I've used this probably 5-6 times. It's always handy to have it around. These, I've looked online, these average around £35 to £40 for this particular style. Again, obviously if you're doing more chains, then you'd obviously go up to a better quality, higher strength. Whale is one, and I believe DID did one as well. I think it was the KM500R. There you're looking into sort of like the £90–100 plus area. But for what I use it for, as I say, I've probably done 5-6 chains with this over the course of a couple of years. Again, complete kit. Does actually come with your instructions, and you can actually get other pins. Just dig out the yeah, so that's actually what you get with it. Shows you the whole kit, shows you all the parts, and takes you through of how to actually use the kit, how to use it properly. I say, if you don't use it properly, you will damage or break this actual breaker itself, the pins, if they're not used correctly. I say there are various videos. I've used it in the past. I don't know if I've got a clip of using it, but there are various videos that I've seen that show you how to use this properly. But again, a very useful tool, and another one that sits in my toolbox. Right, next one is one that people have asked me about many times. I use this one a lot, the blind bearing puller. Again, it's good for wheel bearings or other blind bearings where you can't get into. Obviously for wheel bearings you can actually use the bridge. I think there's actually still, yeah, there's actually still one on there at the moment. Again, works in the same fashion as the piston removal tool. Screws in, will open this up, clamps it, and then literally you can wind with this particular tool. You can wind it out, and it will pull it up for you. I say I have used this many times. Done a lot of wheel bearings with it. So you literally work up from, starts off with an 8mm. I believe the biggest is 30. Yep, that's the 30mm. So you can see I've used that one quite a lot for the bigger size. Again, hefty slide hammer on this one. Obviously when you're doing this, be careful, because I think once I actually caught part of my hand as I was coming up. I had it here and I actually clamped my hand in there, and that hurt a lot. Again, fantastic tool. I've used it many times. I should have a clip, so I'll roll that now. Again, this is probably one of the most expensive tools I've bought. These range I've seen from about £160 up to about £180. But a phenomenal piece of kit, and it does exactly what I need it to do. I've not seen another variation of this. I mean, there's probably some out there, but absolutely brilliant kit. And the code for it is an AK716. Again, I'll leave links in the description of where you can get these from. I say some are from eBay, others are from other motorcycle parts places. Wimoto, I use them as well. But I say, absolutely brilliant. Wouldn't do without that one. Alright, and the last tool before moving on to, I'll finish off with the parts washer. Last tool is torque wrench. It's 3/8 square drive. Goes from 7 to 112 Newton meters. Again, absolutely brilliant. I've used this quite a lot when doing, obviously, Z650. Used it on the Varadero. Again, comes with its nice carry case. You'll see your instructions and etc. Again, seen these ranged in price from sort of mid £30 to mid £40. But as I say, it is 3/8 drive, not ½ inch. So it is worth looking around if you're looking for ½ inch drive, but as I say, for the jobs I need, it does the job for me. It's really good. Not too much can be said about a torque wrench. Most people know how to use one, but as I say, it's obviously fully adjustable, he says. Yeah, there we go. If you can see that, but say all the marks So we've got Newton meters on the front and foot pounds on the back. And then it's just lock it in place. And I've used that one quite a lot. It's just to give you some sort of idea of what tools I use. I say, yes, I use a lot of Sealy tools. No, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I am completely independent. These are my only personal views of the tools I actually use. I buy what I need. I buy what I need to do the job that I need it to do. As I said earlier, I don't, well, with the exception of the blind bearing puller, which, as I say, was a big investment, but worth every penny. Again, my patrons help when I purchase things like that. You know, it really helps, and I can't thank my patrons enough for all the support they give me. But a lot of the money that I get from Patron will go back into tools and bettering my toolbox, which obviously I can use on the bikes. So the last one I just want to have a quick look at is the parts washer, so I'll pull that one down. Right, so this is the last one, parts washer, as I say, used in many videos. It's a 3.5 gallon parts washer. Obviously the pumps underneath. Fluid I use is rock oil, SOC soluble oil, oil cleaner. It works for me. There are varying other versions on the market. That's a 5 litre can, goes out for about 25 quid. But it does last quite some time. As I say, I've used this many times in many videos. Actually needs to clean, so apologies for that. Obviously all the fluid's stored in. Turn it on, comes out through the pump. I can scrub away. These are approximately, the desktop ones are about 70 quid, 75 quid. I've had this absolutely years, but it's helped me so much. I say, and it all folds away nicely. I don't need anything bigger at the moment, maybe in time, but as I say, that's served me well for a good few years. It is a perfect solution for cleaning parts and components. I feel it's probably one of the things you should have in your garage. If you are doing a lot of engine parts, stripping down, cleaning, it's absolutely perfect. So as I say, it's a sorry, get the words out in a minute. It's a 3.5 gallon, measures 44 centimeters by 36 by 26, so it stores away quite nicely. I normally have it sitting on top of the toolbox. It's out of the way, and I just pull it down when I need it. As I say, as for the actual cleaner, this is my second can. So as I say, it does get used quite a lot, but the fluid is actually quite good. It does last, or I make it last as long as possible. I say the cleaner is actually suitable for a wide range of machinery components, including engines, gearboxes, carburetors, chains, bearings, most metals, and plastic components. So I've put loads of stuff through this using this cleaner, and no problems whatsoever. But that gives you an idea of obviously some of the tools I use. I do get asked, or the last one is my ultrasonic cleaner. I say at the moment it's I haven't used it for a while, but there will be parts going in there soon. I've done carburetors in here. So this is only the small version. I think it's a 3 litre. I probably will upgrade to a bigger size later on. It's done me so well, but I just wanted the small version to try out. As I say, it's not a huge. I can get one carburetor in there, or lots of valves, etc. and just leave it to go. It is noisy though, that's the only problem. I can't film when I've got that on. But again, that was off eBay. I think that was about £40 to £60 that they're ranging from roughly, but I would recommend it, and I probably will go to the bigger version later on. Well, I hope that was helpful. It just gives you a brief insight. As I say, people have asked me many times in many videos, where did you get that tool from, and that's really handy, and I just thought I'd print out some information so I could run through and just give you an idea of just a selection of the tools. Obviously I have your basic range of screwdrivers, spanners, etc. I just buy what I need when I need them. Sockets, again, I just buy what I need for the price I can afford. I do upgrade when I can. Obviously larger single sockets, I'll just buy the sockets I need. Sometimes I won't even buy a set. Some of the actual ratchets I've had years. I've just bought it, it's lasted. I've got Halfords in there, I've got all sorts of different brands in there. But again, it comes down to your budget, what you need it to do, how often you're going to use it. Those are the questions you sort of need to ask yourself before actually purchasing any tools. If it's a tool that you're going to use all the time, there's no point buying a cheap tool because it will just snap and you'll end up paying out more. So, as I say, for ratchets, the one I use the most, I've probably had 10 years and it's still going. It wasn't cheap, I can't remember the price, it's such a long time ago. But I just add to it as I go, and the toolbox slowly gets bigger and bigger. I get rid of the stuff that's old and I don't need anymore. It's served its purpose, and then replace it with fresh when I can. But as I say, I just wanted to run through and just give you a brief idea of some of the stuff that I have, what I use, where I get it from, and hopefully that helps people that are in the same situation as I am. As I say, I'm just a guy in a garage, I'm not fully trained mechanic, I learn as I go. I buy what I can with what I have. So I know people will say, oh, you should buy this brand, you should buy that brand. Personal choice, personal preference, and it depends what you need it for and the circumstances at the time. But I say, I'll leave links in the descriptions to the tools and where you can get them from. As I say, it's a selection of a few places: eBay, Wiimoto, various places online. Yes, I do shop around. I'll shop across the internet and find out where I can get the best deal, because obviously a lot of places sell the same thing for probably 3 or 4 different prices, so it's worth shopping around. Hopefully saves you a little bit of time and a little bit of money, but you know, that's down to the individual to do. But as I say, I'll leave links in the description, so go check them out. I hope the clips of how the tools were used, I've tried to put in as much as I can, so it does give you an idea. So a lot of the videos I do, they are in there, so you will see them from time to time. They will come back out of the toolbox and be used in future videos. There's also a link to my merchandise site if you're interested in any amateur bike builder merchandise. All the funds go back into the channel. Everything that comes in goes back into the channel to buy tools, equipment, etc. Everything I need. There are links to other videos at the end of the video. And as usual, appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. Join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.